Hi, I'm Melissa Carroll, and I hope you enjoy this yoga session that's a little unique because it combines two wonderful art forms: yoga, of course, the physical practice of yoga, and poetry. And I hope that listening to the poetry that is recited while you're moving through this all levels yoga sequence allows you to be inspired, be delighted, and anchor more into the present moment. And as always, if any of the postures that I am guiding in this flow are not appropriate for your practice today, then either modify or skip them completely. You have to listen to your body and honor where you're at. Let's begin in a comfortable seat, either sitting back on your heels or just sitting on the floor with one foot crossed in front of the other. Lift up through your heart, shoulders stacked over your hips, broadening across your collarbones. Eyes are closed or the gaze is relaxed. As you allow the rhythm of your breath to coax you into the present moment. Every breath an invitation to simply being right here. And as you inhale, allow the belly to soften. As you exhale, feel your navel draw back toward your spine. On your next inhale, float your arms out and up overhead, hands connect. Exhale, hands slide to your heart. Rodney Yee says that yoga is the poetry of the body. As we breathe in and breathe out, inhale, stretch your fingertips up toward the sky and melt your left arm down, right arm stretches up and overhead. Nice and easy. Right fingertips down, left arm stretches up overhead, awakening the side body. As we flow once again to the other side, not forcing, simply enjoying these gentle side bends. Maybe you feel the breath travel across your side ribs. One more time. Over to the left, shoulders draw away from ears, and over to the right, right hand down, left arm up and overhead. Now we arrive back at center, a comfortable seat. Just pause and observe. The poet Mark Nepo says, "Having loved enough and lost enough, I am no longer searching, just opening." Breathing deeply. Once again, float your arms up and overhead, hands connect down to your heart. Inhale, stretch your fingertips back up and sweep the arms out and down as we rotate the head and the neck now gently side to side in semicircles, allowing your chin to graze in that semicircle over to the left and to the right, keeping your shoulders broad and simultaneously drawing down, lifting through your sternum, through your heart center. Integrity in your core. Now arrive back at center and let's rotate the shoulders around a little bit. Breathing in as your shoulders draw up. Exhale as your shoulders sweep back, maybe making these rotations a little larger, rotating your elbows around. You could gently rotate your gaze side to side. Now inhale, sweep the space around you, up and overhead, hands meet. Exhale to heart, arriving once again, right here, in this moment, at your center. Breathe in, arms stretch up, breathe out, arms sweep down. As we come into a tabletop position now, moving through cow and cat. And so, as you inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round your back like a scared cat. Inhale, lifting the tailbone, lifting the gaze. Exhale, all the way back now to child's pose. Hips sink to heels. Maybe your knees wiggle out a little wider than your hips. Breathe along the back of your body, along the sides of your ribs. You could walk your fingertips out toward the top of your mat as you draw back through your tailbone. Having loved enough and lost enough, I am no longer searching, just opening. No longer trying to make sense of pain, but trying to be a soft and sturdy home in which real things can land. Let's rise back up to tabletop cow and cat. Inhale as your heart draws forward, broad and across the chest. Exhale, chin to chest, round your back. Follow the breath, go at your own pace. Feeling anchored and strong in your palms and your arms, spread through the pads of your fingertips. As we now walk the palms about a handprint or two in front, tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Ears are in line with your biceps, hips drawing up and back. You might bend one knee and sink the opposite heel deeper toward the earth, alternating, pedaling out your feet, active in your core, even pressure in your arms as you step your feet up to meet your hands, a forward fold. You could let your arms sway from side to side gently, or grasp opposite elbows behind the backs of your legs, folding yourself in half. Getting that stretch across the back of your legs. Inhale now, flat back slide, hands up your shins. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, lift through your heart, rise all the way up to standing. Hands connect. Exhale. Hands melt to your heart. Feet evenly grounded into the earth. Arms open up by your sides, palms rotated forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feeling the poetry of this simple yet powerful shape. Grounded to the earth as you lift your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, swan dive, hinge at your hips, forward fold. With a flat back, we're going to lift halfway, really draw the chest forward, slide your hands up your legs, and then exhale, come on back down, extending your right leg back, spin onto the sole of your right foot at a 45-degree angle, stretch your arms up, warrior one. So your front knee is bent, knee stacked over the ankle, lift through your heart, and exhale, melt the hands back down, pivot on the ball of the back foot, step back into plank pose, top of a push-up position, and then breathe, draw back into your down dog. Hips are high. Inhale, shift forward into plank, really strong in your legs. As you exhale, you could bend your knees deeply as your hips hinge high to the sky. One more time. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Exhale, down dog. Now inhale, extend your right leg up. You could bend that right knee, even pressure in your arms. And step your right foot up in between your hands. Spin your left foot down at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, arms sweep up. Warrior one. We're setting up the flow here so that we can move fluidly through these movements with poetry as our guide. Setting the stage, hands come down, step left foot up to meet the right. Forward fold at the top of your mat once again. Zipping up through your core, slide hands all the way up the front of the legs, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, extending at the top. Hands meet, down to heart. We'll get this on the other side. Inhale, arms float up. As you exhale, swan dive all the way down to the earth. Inhale with a flat back, lengthen through your crown. Exhale to fold. Now the left leg extends back long on your mat, 45-degree angle. Arms sweep up, shoulders and hips squaring off toward the front edge of your mat for warrior one. Exhale, float the arms down. Pivot on the ball of the back foot, step back to plank. Fire up through your thighs and your core, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg stretches up and back. You could bend that left knee and then shift forward. Step left foot up, spin right foot down at a 45. Inhale, arms sweep up, lift through the heart, maybe lift your gaze, maybe smile here. Feeling vibrant. Exhale, arms float down. Step right foot up to meet the left, and we're back. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. So that's our flow. Really simple. Rise up to stand, stretch arms up, hands meet, down to your heart. And we'll get this once again on both sides. Following your breath rhythm, always modifying as you need. Arms float up and deep bow down. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway. Exhale, fold right leg back for your warrior one. Breathing in and breathing out, diving down. Step back to plank, strong. We'll inhale here. Exhale, down dog. Right leg extends up and back, down dog split. You can bend that knee, move from your core, step right foot up, spin left foot down, warrior one. On the other side, lift through the heart, lift the corners of the mouth upward, extend up through your fingertips. Exhale, bowing back, down. Step left foot up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, hands at heart. We'll get that one more time. You can follow the visuals with me or move in any way that feels right. Rumi says, "This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still, Treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Let's inhale together, arms stretch up to the sky, hands meet, melting down to heart. Inhale again, stretch the arms out wide and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, slide your hands down the center line, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Right leg extends back really long on your mat this time. A deep lunge. Left knee is stacked over your left ankle. Right hand comes down to the mat as your left arm peels open in this lunge twist. Firing up through the inner and outer thighs. Let's melt the back knee down. You could untuck your back toes and then rise up. So we're still in this twist. Right fingertip stretching forward, left fingertip stretching back, peeling open across the left fan of your chest, not losing integrity in your low body, strong in your stance, anchored through your left heel. Now sweep left arm forward to meet the right, float arms overhead, deep lunge. Exhale, hands glide down to earth, untuck back toes, step back to plank. Deep breath in here, and we'll melt the right knee down, right hand stays down, left arm peels open as you spin onto the sole of your left foot. Or you could come into Vashisthasana, side plank with both legs extended, feet stacked on one another, hips lifting, active through the right side body. And then we'll all meet back in a plank pose, back to down dog, or melting back to child's pose. Wherever you are, reconnect to your breath. Stretch the right arm up and back. Step the right foot forward in between your hands. Left arm stays down as right arm peels up. Lunge twist, other side. Anchor through your right heel. As you melt your back knee down, feel free to untuck the back toes. Zip up through the core. Lift your torso up. So your right fingertips are stretching back, left fingertips stretching forward. Maybe gazing back over the right hand, and then gently gazing forward over the left fingertips. Index and thumbs might be connected here, sealing in that circuitry of inspiration. Now we'll sweep right arm forward to meet the left. Inhale, both arms sweep up and overhead. And as you exhale, hands melt down, framing the front foot, tuck your back toes under, step back into your plank, and we'll move into side plank on the other side. So either bringing your left knee down, swiveling that shin back behind you like a kickstand and spinning onto the sole of the right foot, or again, keeping both legs extended as your right arm lifts. We'll all meet back in plank to down dog. Left leg steps forward, followed by the right. Forward fold eventually will meet, lifting halfway, and then dive down again. Inhale all the way to stand, arms stretch up, hands meet, back to heart. Coming into a standing balance pose now. Feeling rooted through your right foot, lift your left heel, pivot your left knee out to the side. As you do that, make sure your right outer thigh is active, hips are level. You might slide your left foot up to the right inner calf or the right inner thigh, just not on that right inner knee. Draw in and up through your core. Arms could extend up and out for tree pose. Rooting down through your right leg, branches extending, and then maybe a little twist. Right arm stretches forward, left arm peels back. Rotate from your core and back to center. Hands meet. We'll draw that left knee forward, hug it in and up. And maybe even another twist, drawing your right hand over to your left thigh, peeling your left arm back. Rotate back to center, shake it out a little bit. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, dive on down. Breathe in, lengthen through the crown, half lift. Exhale, bow back to earth. With that flat back, lift all the way up, hands to heart center. Moving into tree pose on the other side. Right knee gently bends, rotates out to your side. Same thing, keep your left outer thigh active, hips nice and level, strong in your deep center as you slide your right foot up, maybe to inner calf or inner thigh. Arms could extend up. Osho says, sadness gives depth. Happiness gives height. Sadness gives roots. Happiness gives branches. Happiness is like a tree going into the sky, and sadness is like the roots going down into the womb of the earth. Both are needed, and the higher a tree goes, the deeper it grows simultaneously. You might play with that twist over to the right, then arrive back at center, draw the knee forward, twisting to the right, left hand crosses to right thigh, spiral back to center and let it go, just shake it out. Beautiful. Back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, dive down to earth. Inhale, with a flat back, press fingertips into the legs. Exhale, slide back down. Extend your right leg back one more time. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Zip up through the core again. Arms stretch up. Now a crescent lunge. So the back heel is lifted. Hands to heart. Rise up through the crown of your head. Inner thighs hugging in as right fingertips stretch forward and left fingertips stretch back. So we're coming into that lunge twist. Now your back knee might be down on the mat as we practiced previously. Broaden across your chest and then sweep left arm forward and both arms up. Melt back down, hands to mat. Step left foot back, plank pose. Now from here you could lower your knees, bow heart between thumbs, scoop the chest forward and up and come back to down dog. Or if you want to lower in plank, lift your chest forward and up, fire up through the thighs and the glutes, and then lift your hips up and back to down dog. Either knees, chest, and chin, or that chaturanga in one line. From your down dog or tabletop, stretch your right leg up and back. You could circle out your ankle here, bending your right knee. Now we'll move to the other side. Step your right foot up in between your hands. Arms stretch up. Strong legs, crescent lunge. Inner thighs hugging toward the midline. Hands to heart, thumbs at sternum. Lift your heart to meet your thumbs. And now we'll twist over to the right. Right fingertips extend all the way back to the wall behind you. Left fingertips stretch forward. Perhaps thumbs and index fingers are connected. Gaze is soft as we glide forward and up. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands melt down to earth, and once again, step back to plank and either lower your knees and bow your heart down, or in one line, lower down and then scoop the chest forward, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, move from your core to your downward facing dog. We'll extend the left leg up and back. Bend your left knee, maybe rotate out your left ankle here, staying parallel in your shoulders, and sliding that left knee and shin down to the ground by your left wrist. Extending your right leg out long behind you, making sure your hips are squaring off toward the top edge of your mat as we move into pigeon pose. So your left thigh is parallel to the outer edge of your mat here. It doesn't matter how far you walk your left foot up. We don't want to put too much pressure on the knee. Breathing deeply, allowing the breath to slow down as we slow down the rhythm of the practice now, adjusting as you need to. Rumi says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. Enjoy another breath here. As we slowly begin to extend the arms, lift through the heart. Walk your hands back toward your hips. Tuck your back toes under and either step back into down dog or maybe knees stay bent and shins on the earth for child's pose. If you're in down dog, you might pedal out the feet. And then let's move into this pigeon on the other side, sliding your right knee forward by your right wrist. Left leg extends back behind you, making sure your right outer thigh is parallel to the outer edge of your mat, so your hips are still squaring forward. If being in this position is not appropriate for your body, of course, please don't force it. You can always lie on your back and come into the pigeon pose variation, and you can find that variation in the video linked in the description. Perhaps your torso melts forward, resting one hand on top of the other, resting your forehead on your hands. Breathing in deeply, breathing out completely. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly begin to extend through your arms, walk your hands back, lift through your chest. You might tuck your back toes under again, active in the back leg, stepping back either into your down dog one more time or child's pose. If moving through, another vinyasa, lowering knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga, as long as we don't let the hips sink before the shoulders. You can move through that sequence. And then eventually, we'll all meet in child's pose. Slowly roll back to seated, and pause, sitting back, simply noticing the effects of this practice so far in your body, your mind, your heart. Now we'll sweep the legs forward. You can come to the center of your mat to lie all the way back. Stretch out. Feel free to float your arms overhead as you extend through your fingertips. And then hug your knees into the body. Rock those knees side to side. Maybe draw circles in the air with the knees. As we set the feet down on the mat, hip distance apart, and lift your hips so the knees are stacked over the ankles, active in the glutes and hamstrings. Maybe the shoulder blades slide toward each other at your upper back. Bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Now slowly as you exhale, lower down vertebra by vertebra. Hug the knees back in. Maybe a happy baby here, bending your knees out wide, soles of the feet pointing up toward the sky. Hands could come either to the big toes or the inner or outer edges of your feet or your outer ankles or outer calves. You might even rock your baby from side to side, perhaps extending deeply through one leg and then the other. No strain in the neck. Now hug your knees in. Extend your legs up, flex your feet, and slowly melt your legs all the way back down to earth. We've arrived. Shavasana. Final relaxation. Allowing the palms to open outwards by your sides, letting your feet relax. Allowing the back of your body to melt down into the ground. Front body softening as each breath gently coaxes you deeper and deeper into this moment. Belly soft as you inhale. Exhale, navel drifts back toward the earth, emptying. Breathing in to nourish, breathing out to release. Letting your awareness gently scan your body, guided with inspiration from these lines by the great mystic St. Thomas Aquinas. Sing, my tongue. Sing, my hand. Sing, my knee, my feet, my whole body. Indeed, I am the choir. Yoga is the poetry of the body, and the mind, and the heart, and your prana. This full, living, creative expression. Your life itself is a poem. Breathe into the great poem of your body, from your toes as you inhale all the way up through the crown of your head, as you exhale from the crown all the way down out through your toes. Now slowly welcome back. Gentle movements, the fingertips, the toes. When you're ready, roll over to one side and return to a comfortable meditative seat, just as we began. The palms can lightly press together at your heart. And we'll seal in this yoga and poetry session with one final verse from William Blake. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. Draw in a nice, deep, nourishing breath, and exhale with a sigh. Thank you so much for joining me.